Thank you. So we've had, real quick note, we've had over 200 people here in the room today, but we've had over 5,000 people live streaming this event from work, home, all across the country, which has been really cool. So what I'm going to do real quick is just take a step back and intro Glassdoor as a platform, talk a little bit about where we came from, but really quickly bring you to the website itself, so everybody here and everybody live streaming can know really how you can start getting engaged if you haven't already. You probably recognize this slide from a little earlier, and I want to touch on it real quick because the Zillow group mentioned this about giving power to the people, and that's really in Glassdoor's DNA. So our founders started Expedia, they started Zillow, they started Glassdoor, and what's really at the core of that is embracing that transparency. We know today from job seekers that expectations are higher than they've ever been. And so people want more than just a job description. They want everybody's perspective. Even if they're a referral, we find that they come to Glassdoor to get not just one person's perspective, but thousands of people's perspective. And pretty much everybody wants to work for a company that embraces this type of transparency. And you've seen that in the speakers we've had that have all been named best places to work. What's really at the core of that is they've embraced that transparency on Glassdoor and become a part of that conversation. And it's because hiring people has gotten no easier over the past few years. And what we hear from companies is that they're spending more money using the same channels, and they're still actively sourcing people, and it's not working, to be fair, as well as it used to. So why Glassdoor in all of this? What we find is that almost all of our audience is actively looking or open to a new opportunity. You think about Glassdoor as a review site, but what's really happening is that we're influencing job seekers at every stage in the recruitment process. So it's not just about company reviews, there's salary information. There's information about what the interview experience is like. So if you look at the recruitment funnel as a whole, what you'll find is that people are not just using Glassdoor to find quick information about the company, but they're coming back over and over again to find out what their interview process might be like. We've heard from candidates that sit in the lobby of a building before their interview, and they get on Glassdoor and see what might be asked, what the follow-up's gonna be like, and what that does is it sets the stage and sets the expectations properly, because as we just heard, the cost of a bad hire is nothing that a company wants to deal with. So what Glassdoor offers employers is the ability to advertise your jobs to this active, very engaged audience that's figuring out where they want to work and what type of career they want. Promote your brand and influence people that are actively researching your company on Glassdoor, and optimize your strategy with really powerful analytics. And we heard from Steve at Nestle Purina that they utilize that to really form a lot of their structure and their strategy within recruitment, because it's live data that's happening right there in front of them, and you can really use it to make actionable insights and changes with the organization. So what I'm going to do is do a quick live demo of what a paid enhanced profile looks like on Glassdoor, what a free profile looks like, and most importantly, what you can start doing today for free to get involved and become a part of that conversation. So we'll take the risk on hotel Wi-Fi and see if we're good. All right, so we'll start with real quick the home page of Glassdoor, and candidates have the opportunity to quickly search for a job on Glassdoor, look at company reviews, but as I mentioned, salary information, interview information. This is what we mean when we say we really do influence people at every single stage of the recruitment process. You think about how a lot of people start a job search. Software engineer in this area might look up salaries first. And we have the ability to help companies engage with that audience right from the very beginning of that search. They haven't looked for jobs, they're still passive, but they're looking at what salary they might be worth. So real quick, I'll use Solar City as an example. They've done a phenomenal job actively engaging with their audience on Glassdoor. This is an enhanced profile, and they've, of course, won the best places to work list a couple different times. And what you'll notice is they influence the candidates right away with a banner image, and you'll see how this is different than a free profile in a second. All of the jobs on their page are theirs. So this all pulls from their applicant tracking system, and it targets me based on where I'm sitting and what type of searches I've done in the past on Glassdoor. They're doing a great job utilizing our company updates feature, which goes out to their thousands of followers, specifically on Glassdoor, that have said, I want to know more about what it's like to work at this company outside of just the reviews. There's social media integration, and then most importantly, every enhanced profile has this Why Work For Us section. It's 5 tabs that are customizable that a company can use to hit on whatever messages they feel are most important at that time. Whether it's diversity, college recruiting, they want to talk about their internship program. This is front and center of what's going to influence a candidate when they come to this profile. And reviews still exist, but what's happening is that Solar City has the first voice in this conversation before the candidate gets to those reviews. So if you think about Glassdoor as a big hiring convention, there are thousands of people lining up at this booth, and instead of just having a 3-point whatever it is up there at their booth and nobody from the recruiting team standing there, Solar City has their entire recruiting team saying, this is why we're a great place to work, this is why you should join us over anybody else. So if we contrast that with what a lot of you might see if you go do this today with a free profile, there's basic company information here, but the only voice speaking for this company is the 3.6 out of 5. And that's the only real idea of what candidates are getting, of what it's like to work at this company. And the jobs on this page are actually coming from companies that are utilizing our job advertising platform today, and they're targeting me based on the type of searches that I've done on Glassdoor. So if I were a software engineer and I was looking at this profile, I would see software engineering positions from other companies that want to recruit me because they see value in what I'm doing at Glassdoor, and they want to grab me right there with that first, second, or third stage in the recruitment process. So wrapping up real quick, what can you do about all this, which is probably one of the first questions we get in sales. You can go to glassdoor.com/employers, and you can sign up for a free employer account. What that will do is it'll give you access to the employer center on your profile. You'll be able to see how many people come to that page. Some of you may be shocked by that. It could be really big. You can see demographics of the audience, age, years of experience, levels of education, and you'll also be able to actively respond to reviews, which is something that you can do for free. I think a lot of people assume that's a paid feature. You could start responding to reviews today, and there are a ton of resources on this particular page. If you hover over the resources button, you can see best practices. There's a getting started guide. We really try to make it as easy as possible for people to engage and become a part of that conversation. And that's really our main takeaway is, if anything at all, just become a part of the conversation, start embracing transparency. You've heard from the speakers today that it makes a world of difference in recruiting. So that's it. Hopefully everybody can come sign up for a free employer account today when you get back, and I'll take questions. I know we're right before lunch, so I'm it. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get a mic for you real quick.
So we're a small company, and it's very hard for us to engage with employees and make them go on Glassdoor and leave reviews. But we participate in third-party surveys about best places to work, and we receive results. And our CEO, in order to sort of enhance our profile, asked me whether we can post those results, survey results, on our Glassdoor page.
So is that a question of if you can post your own?
Yes. Is there a feature that will allow me to go and post those survey results, or is it against your policy?
If you look at your survey results, if you want to use that to formulate your employer brand, and you were to purchase an enhanced profile on Glassdoor, those 5 tabs are yours. So if you want to put that, your internal survey results show that 95% of people are satisfied with their work, that's completely up to you. That's your call. And working with Glassdoor, we can help you with best practices of what types of information candidates want to see, so that you don't feel like you're out there in the dark trying to figure it out on your own.
So you have to purchase the enhanced profile. It's not a feature available.
Right. If you wanted to put up any
basic.
specific branding or anything like that, that would be a paid feature.
And who can I talk to about the enhanced profile?
So if you go online today and you set up a free employer account, and there are talk to sales buttons all over that. Our marketing team's really good. So any of those will route you to someone, and you'll probably get a call within a day or two. Cool.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is it possible to get a copy of the presentation, the presenters?
Yeah, are we emailing it out? Yeah, we're emailing everything out. So if you're registered, which means you're sitting here,
Yep.
you're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Do you essentially compete with the Dice or Monster, or how are you different from those?
So when we look at competition, I think the recruitment landscape's a really large playing field. There's Dice, there's Monster, CareerBuilder, Indeed, LinkedIn. What really differentiates Glassdoor is all of the content That's specific to us. So job seekers and candidates come here looking for that content, the real transparency, the real story behind everything. If you ask about from a competition perspective, a lot of times we're going after the same dollars, let's be fair. But I think there's room for everybody at the table. Different companies look at their strategy differently, and a lot of companies include Glassdoor as part of that strategy. Okay, I think we're good. Thanks, everybody.